It gives me great pleasure to introduce Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. For such a young man, our DA has already had a long and distinguished career as an attorney, city council member, state district judge, and since January 1st of this year, Hidalgo County's district attorney. One of his top priorities is the safety of our communities, and the initiative that he and Sheriff J.E. Guerra will discuss this morning is designed to do just that, help keep our communities safe. I give you Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez Jr.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this beautiful morning. Today is a great day in Hidalgo County. Today, together with these fine law enforcement officers who stand behind me, together we kick off Hidalgo County's first countywide no refusal crackdown on DWIs over the Labor Day weekend. It gives me great pleasure to see all of our law enforcement agencies and officers standing with us together, from our county constables to state troopers and every single police chief in Hidalgo County, for the support and the participation in this no refusal policy. The support for this new initiative has been overwhelming. More importantly, it shows that keeping communities safe, our community safe, is everyone's top priority. I especially want to thank our Sheriff's Department, Chief Victor Rodriguez of McAllan Police Department, and the Department of Public Safety, and also TxDOT, for taking the initiative to help organize the work that will be done over the Labor Day weekend on the no refusal policy. I sincerely want to thank and also appreciate the support for our Commissioners Court, County Judge Ramon Garcia, Commissioners A.C. Cuellar, Eric Cantu, Joe Flores, and Joseph Palacios. Thank you for approving and funding for the no refusal campaign and for your support. While there have been local and state efforts to combat drinking and driving, this is the first time ever that every law enforcement agency, countywide, will join forces to tell drivers suspected of drunk driving that saying no to providing a breath sample or blood test will not be acceptable in Hidalgo County. 20 police departments, that's every city in Hidalgo County, our Sheriff's Department, DPS Troopers, and our Constables will all be on alert for drunk drivers from Thursday, September 3rd to Monday, September 7th. They have all committed to implement the no refusal policy. Citizens of Hidalgo County, this is a glimpse of what may come in the near future. No refusal every day, no refusal every week, no refusal every month, no refusal all year round. That means if you are pulled over for drunk driving, you will be given a field sobriety test, including a breath test. Should the driver refuse, the officer will obtain a warrant, and the driver will be subject to blood testing at the scene, at a medical facility, or in jail. That's the no refusal policy. This news conference today serves as a warning to anyone who drinks to stay off the road or have a designated driver. We need our citizens of Hidalgo County to help us by spreading the word that it is not okay to drink and drive. Why are we doing this? Because we don't want to have to knock on your door or call your next of kin to say that a loved one was hurt or killed due to a drunk driver. Also joining us today is a representative of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Dileny Olivarez. She's going to share a very personal loss with us. Our Public Affairs Director, Sullivan, who was just up here, lost her brother to a drunk driver. He tells me that he survived the Vietnam War only to make it home and be killed by a drunk driver. In 1975, Benitez was working full-time and about to graduate from college when he was killed by a drunk driver. He left behind a young widow and two wonderful children under the age of 5. Drunk driving doesn't just kill, it destroys countless lives. The lives of the survivors, the lives of the families dealing with their loss, yes, and it even destroys the lives of the perpetrators and their families. Studies show that even a small amount of alcohol can impair a person's ability to drive. So all of us in law enforcement urge you not to risk your life and safety. And don't risk the chance of doing harm to another by getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking. Play it safe, be responsible, it isn't worth the risk. According to Texas Department of Transportation, a DWI alcohol occurs every 21 and a half minutes in Texas. That translates to 24,410 crashes, which resulted in 1,051 fatalities last year. 15 of those deaths were in Hidalgo County. And 48% of the total DWI fatalities last year occurred over the Labor Day weekend. That's not acceptable in Hidalgo County. This has to stop. If our no refusal policy during the Labor Day weekend can save even one life, it'll be worth it. We want drivers to know that law enforcement officers will be increasing patrols leading up to the Labor Day holiday, and they will be testing drivers suspected of intoxication in order to keep our roads and our citizens safe. Again, no refusal requires motorists suspected of drunk driving to provide a breath or blood sample to measure blood alcohol levels. If a suspect refuses to comply, officers can and will obtain an expedited search warrant for a blood sample, which is typically taken by a qualified healthcare professional, and people with a blood alcohol level of 0.08% or higher will be prosecuted. Again, I want to thank Sheriff J.E, Constable Celestino Avila, Martin Cantú, Lázaro Gallardo, J.R. Gaitan, DPS Commander Joe Rodriguez, DPS Captain Arturo de la Garza, and 20 and all the police officers who are present here today representing Hidalgo County. Arturo Espinosa, Chief of Police, Alto PD, Enrique Sotelo, Alto PD, Ruben de Leon, Llano PD, y Roy Cárdenas, Edcouch PD, Tiro de la Garza, Elmer PD, Primitivo Rodríguez, Elsa PD, Rodolfo Ruri Espinosa, Hidalgo PD, Ramón González, La Joya PD, Victor García, La Vía PD, Victor Rodríguez, McAllan PD, Olga Maldonado, Mercedes PD, Robert Dominguez, Mission PD, Michael Vela, Commerce PD, Christopher Barrera, Coffee PD, Joel Bermea, Peñitas PD, Ruben Villescas, Pharr PD, David Hernandez, Progreso PD, Juan González, San Juan PD, Miguel Martinez, Sullivan PD, and Stephen Mayer, Westlaco PD. Citizens of Hidalgo County, together we will make a difference in Hidalgo County. Our message today to our media representatives and to our citizens is to please help us spread the word of our No Refusal campaign. Please help us protect each other. Please help us save lives. Please help us protect the innocent. So, rather than risk jail time, loss of a driver's license, or being required to use the ignition interlocks, rather than risk killing, disabling, disfiguring, and injuring yourselves and others, rather than risk significant financial losses, rather than risk your career and reputation, rather than risking everything, just don't drink and drive. Please, let's be responsible. Call a friend, designated driver, or call a taxi. Ladies and gentlemen of Hidalgo County, the message is simple. If you have consumed alcohol, do not drive or operate a motor vehicle at any time. I want to thank you again for being here this morning. I'm going to pass it on now to Sheriff Hidalgo County, J.E.
First of all, before I begin, I want to thank Attorney Ricardo for his leadership in organizing this event. Thank you to our youth media partners for attending this press conference, and thank you to our family of law enforcement agencies for their solidarity in this message of public safety. Holiday periods continue to be one of the most dangerous times for Texas motorists and our community. In 2014, within the 78-hour time period during the Labor Day weekend, 38 fatal car crashes resulted in the deaths of 44 persons throughout the state. Many of these deaths were attributed to individuals who choose to drink alcohol drive the vehicle. A quick decision to drink and drive can have lifelong consequences. Worst yet, such decisions can cause loss of life and a devastation to families. And I can tell you firsthand that I have seen the deaths caused by drinking and driving. And these tragedies could have definitely been avoided. This is why there is a sense of urgency to get this message out to our community. A message that we, the law enforcement officers of Hidalgo County, will stand united in enforcement operation to crack down on drinking and driving. Again, starting on Thursday, September 3rd to Monday, September 7th, we will be actively searching for persons suspected of drunk driving and enforcing a no refusal policy. During this period, judges will be assisting law enforcement officers with blood draw warrants for drivers who refuse to submit to blood alcohol content testing. Again, the message is, please help us get this message out to ensure the safety of our community. Be responsible. Do not drink and drive. It is simply not worth it. Thank you. God bless you.
We have Chief Victor Rodriguez from McAllan today to say a few words.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. District Attorney, Sheriff, all the chiefs here, members of DPS here, and to all our police officers here, to all our guests here today, thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. This weekend, this holiday, we launched a united effort at making our community safe from drunk driving. We start this mission with a very public announcement. We're very clear about that. This weekend, in this county, in our cities, DWI refusal will not be an option. A person suspected of driving under the influence will not be able to deny the collection of evidence. We are prepared to issue search warrants in each and every case. We declare such because we value each and every person in our communities. We declare such because we value our community. In this context, next week, many of you will ask us, how many arrests occurred as a result of this effort? I believe that we would rather report to you that we had 0 arrests. That would be success. That would mean that the collective effort of all of these agencies here today, the collective effort of all the members of the press that are here today, succeeded to get the message out. Drunk driving is against the law. Drunk driving is dangerous. Drunk driving can affect your life, and it can affect your career. Drunk driving hurts people, and worst, drunk driving kills people. All of us here know that. Therefore, refusal in DWI cases is becoming a thing of the past in Hidalgo County. And law enforcement, prosecutors, and members of this community, today, we join hands to start us down that path and to make our community safe from drunk drivers today, this weekend, and in the future. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Now we have Chief Ruben Villescas from Pharr.
Good morning, everyone, and to all those viewers that will receive this telecast from our partners in the press. The state of Texas today, and it's unusual when I'm not part of this program, but the state of Texas is mourning the death of our sheriff, Darren from Harris County. So before we get started, I'll just ask for a moment of silence as he's on the remember him and keep his family in prayer. I thank you all, and it's a pleasure, being here to speak to you all once again and address our DWI enforcement efforts here in Hidalgo County. And it's extremely a pleasure standing before all these men and women that are behind me that partner up every day throughout the year to enforce the laws of the state and our community. You've heard already our DA, you've heard our sheriff, you've heard Victor Villescas from McAllan. And this is just a message to those persons that would elect to drink, drive. What's going to actually happen? Please give it to us in black and white. Well, that person, if you choose to get on the roadways after you consume alcohol, there's no doubt with the presence and the numbers of law enforcement representatives, you're going to be found, you're going to be stopped, and you're going to be arrested. But what happens then? Obviously, you're going to be arrested, placed in the unit, you're going to be handcuffed, and you're going to be taken to a police agency. You're going to be asked to submit to a breathalyzer. Just like mentioned earlier, a no doesn't mean a no. Because a no to a breathalyzer is going to warrant a search warrant to be issued out. And that search warrant is going to give us the authority to go to that person that said no, and you, the driver, and draw blood from it. And this blood is going to be analyzed, and it's going to be able to provide a much better picture of your blood alcohol concentration. And it's going to come up in court, and it will be used against you. Trust me that our DA regularly and the DAs will use it against you. In trial, in the punishment, juries will hear that. So there's consequences. And you might ask, well, if I say no and an agency obtains that first one, then I'm going to be released. That doesn't happen. You still get arrested and go in for drug and intoxication. And you're going to spend some time in jail. And then you're going to be taken before a magistrate and judge and placed on a bond. And then you're going to go to our county sheriff with our sheriff and Guerra. And you will remain there until you can bump out. And then you're going to have your day in court. That's when everything's going to be. And we want to send out this clear message to those that would even think about drinking and driving. And there's going to be severe consequences. We hope that with the demonstration of force that we have all the law enforcement agencies represented here from Hidalgo County, that would be a clear message to those persons that would think and make that decision of drinking and driving. To cease, remain at home, get a designated driver. So my hope is that the message is clear. And I do want to thank you all for being here, our partners, all the partners that are behind me, because we all have one thing in common. Keep our community safe and to keep drunk drivers off of our roadways. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Before we proceed to, I'm not sure if Octavio or Ruby Martinez also present here from TxDOT. Before I have Ruby address you all, we have Johnny Hernandez from Texas Department of Public Safety with a message as well.
Thank you for the DA, Rick Rodriguez. To all the law enforcement agencies here supporting this initiative, on behalf of the Texas Department of Public Safety, I want to re-emphasize that we're not waiting for the weekend. We've already started. We're arresting people now. We do it every day. Our job is to make sure our roadways are safe for you and for me, because we have families also. So we do everything we can to have all available troopers, all available law enforcement agencies work the roadways and arrest drunk drivers. We want to reduce major crashes. We want to reduce fatalities not only in the valley but in the whole state and the United States. We're here to make sure we do a job for you. With the media, you're very important to us. Spread the word. We will arrest you if you drink and drive. Rest assured. Again, you drink, you drive, and you will go to jail. Thank you.
We have Ruben Martinez from Texas Pharr and Transportation.
Hello, good morning. As summer winds down, Texas will be enjoying family vacations and Labor Day picnics. Not for our friends in law enforcement. They will be working hard to make sure that summer's final days are filled with the ultimate tragedy for families and communities. Tragedies such as alcohol-related crashes, injuries, and fatalities. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, of all traffic fatalities in the United States in 2013, roughly 1 in 3 involved drinking and driving. According to TxDOT, last summer in Texas, 336 people were killed and 680 were seriously injured in alcohol-related crashes. In an effort to curb impaired driving, TxDOT's Drink, Drive, Go to Jail campaign is supported by increased law enforcement efforts between August 21st and September 7th. This campaign is in conjunction with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's annual Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over crackdown on drunk driving. Through the Selective Traffic Enforcement Program, or STEP as its acronym, for fiscal year 2015, there is an estimate of $500,000 in TxDOT funding for stepped-up overtime enforcement in the local valley, not in the state, in the local valley, in which state and several local law enforcement agencies are funded with. The TxDOT STEP funding program provides resources to law enforcement agencies to enforce laws against drunk driving, occupant protection, speeding, and other safety issues, and to support a wide range of activities that save lives. Several agencies will utilize the TxDOT STEP funds for the Labor Day weekend and no refusal initiatives. At TxDOT, we value our partnerships with law enforcement. These partnerships are essential in bringing awareness, making safety campaigns successful, and keeping the traveling public safe on our highways, and thus creating a safer community for all of us. We value law enforcement's partnership, commitment to safety, and support to these life-saving campaigns and participation in the STEP program. As the TxDOT Traffic Safety Specialist and as the STEP Grant Administrator, I want to thank all the police chiefs for their support, all the STEP project directors for their hard work in administering their STEP grants, ensuring policies and compliance are kept in order, and all the STEP officers that will be working during Labor Day weekend. I also want to thank District Attorney Ricardo and his staff for their no refusal initiatives and commitment. I want to thank all our community partners that work diligently and endless hours committed to creating a safer community. Transportation touches each and every one of our lives every day. We share the responsibility to make our transportation system safe. Together, we can deliver on the promise of safety for all Texans, whether they drive, walk, or ride. The Texas Traffic Safety Program mission is to save lives and prevent injuries. Together, we will make a difference by saving lives and preventing injuries on our roadways. On behalf of TxDOT, we wish you a restful 3-day weekend. Make the responsible choice to drive sober and And just as we should all do every day, buckle up. It's the first step towards the state rights on Labor Day and every day. And remember, drink, drive, go to sleep.
Thank you, Ruben. Before I introduce Olivarez, I'm going to have Anna Verley come up from Matt, say a few words, and she'll introduce Olivarez.
Good morning. My name is Anna Verley. I'm the Senior Victim Services Specialist for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I want to thank the DA for putting this together and for inviting us to be a part of this initiative. As we've heard here today, if you drink, don't drive. Designate a driver, stay where you are. I'm here to tell you that drinking and driving is a violent, 100% preventable crime. With so many options available to everyone, taxi, designated drivers, buses, or simply not drinking and driving, there's no excuse for anyone to drink and drive. Matt is proud to support law enforcement because there are heroes. They work day in and day out to protect the public from the dangers of drinking and driving, oftentimes risking their lives by simply going out and doing what they're tasked to do, what they've chosen to do. We also want to get the word out to the community that Matt is here to help. We support victims of drunk driving. We support victims of drug driving because that is driving under the influence. In the almost 14 years that I've been doing this, I've had the pleasure and honor of meeting some lovely people. They didn't ask to come into my life. They didn't ask for me to come into their life. But here we are. 425 people passed through my doors last year, needing some type of service from Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Sometimes it was something as simple as, where can I get a police report? What happened to the guy who ran into my fence? Am I going to get restitution for my car? I'm injured. I need help to pay the medical bills. I lost a loved one. How am I going to pay for the funeral? This morning I have the pleasure of introducing Dileny Olivarez. She's going to share a little bit about her story, about how she and I encountered each other, and how together we go out into the community to share her experiences and to get the word out that drinking and driving is 100% preventable. Again, thank you to all our law enforcement heroes. Can we give them a big hand?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dileny Olivarez, and my family and I are victims of a drunk driver. In the picture, you see my brother Guillermo. He was taken from us the night of February 28, 2011 by a drunk driver. That day, my brother and his fiancée had spent the day getting ready for their wedding, which was the following day. He bought his suit, as well as his bride-to-be had bought a dress. The family was excited for them. We were looking forward to a low-key affair the next day. They were very young. He was 18, she was 17. But they had so much love for each other and had big plans. On February 18, we were supposed to be celebrating a wedding and the bride's 18th birthday. My brother Guillermo had finished high school in 3 years and had just completed his paramedic training. He was ready to find a new job, get married, and start a new life. He didn't live to see his dream come true. A drunk with a BAC of .28, which is 3.5 times over the legal limits, was driving the wrong way at a high speed and took my brother's life. There are no words to describe the feelings that we felt when we found out about the crash. I was away in college in Kingsville, and I started making phone calls trying to get the details. trying to find out what had happened. At 3 in the morning, I had to drive home, only to find out that my brother was killed. If you've ever had to plan a funeral, let me tell you, it's not easy. He was my best friend. We shared everything, including our birthdays. I was only a year older than him. All those shared moments ended that night. Today we spend our time bringing awareness to the community about the dangers of drinking and driving, and honoring my brother. Guillermo had so much to live for, and it all ended with a drunk driver. It's very simple. If you drink, don't drive. We support the no refusal efforts, and we appreciate all the law enforcement that is out there making the road safer for all of us. We want no more victims. Thank you.
Olivarez, your condolences again. Thank you for being with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the press conference on a no refusal kickoff. Again, I'd like to thank county officials, county staff, Judge Ramon Garcia. Again, thank you for your participation. And all the commissioners of our county, Texas Department of Public Safety, TxDOT, all the county law enforcement, all law enforcement from every municipality. Thank you again. Thank you for being here this morning. Again, together we will make a difference in the county of Hidalgo. God bless all of you, and thank you again for being here this morning. Thank you.